So now that my first two blocks are in place, I'm going to code my Scratch Cat to greet my users and give them an instruction to click on a new sprite to access the next backdrop or stage. So there's a couple of things I'm going to do here. First, I'm going to start by putting in my greeting block. So I'm going to use a sound block for this, and I'm going to pick play sound meow until done. And then I'm going to record over the meow sound using the drop down arrow record option. This will open up my microphone where I can record my message. Hello and welcome to my journey around Australia. Come and look at all the famous landmarks I visited on my recent trip to Australia. And if I'm happy with that recording, I press save. I can rename it from recording 1 to hi. And then when I click back on code, I can change meow to hi. Now that I've recorded my greeting for my users, I'm going to add a new sprite in. And this new sprite is going to be my user interface sprite. So basically what that means is my user's going to be able to touch this sprite to be able to go to the next scene or the next backdrop. So I'm going to go into the sprites menu by clicking on the kitty cat, and I'm going to pick a sprite for my users to click on. So I might even pick the basketball. Okay, so it's up there. And then I'm going to go back into my Scratch Cats code. And in this code, I'm now going to add a recording that says, click on the basketball to see the play, to go to the next, or to click on the basketball to see the places that I visited. So I'm going to use that play sound block again, and I'm going to record my new message. See if you can click on the basketball to visit the places that I visited on my trip. I've recorded my instructions and I hit save. Again, I'm going to rename it, just basket. It's much easier to rename your sound so that you know which sound you're going to put in where. And I'm going to select the word basket from the drop-down list. I might even add some text instructions so my user knows what to do as well. So those text instructions are located in the looks menu, which are the purple blocks over here. And they're this say hello for 2 seconds. So I'm going to put that down and I'm going to write click on the arrow on the basket or to see the places I visited. And I might even make it longer. So say maybe says it for 10 seconds. And so that's the first lot of code or first stack of code that I've done for Scratch Cat. If I wanted to make it more exciting, I could make the basketball bounce around so it's a little bit harder for my user to click on. So I'm now going to click on the basketball. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want my basketball to bounce around. So it makes it that little bit harder for my user to click on the ball so they can see where I went next. So how I want to do this is I want to make sure that when the green flag is clicked, the basketball is moving. Okay, so I'm going to use a when a green flag is clicked block, and then I'm going to use the motion blocks over here, and I'm going to move it. Now this says 10 steps, but I think that's a little bit not like slow or not far enough. So I'm going to change it to 20 steps. Okay. So when the green flag is clicked, the first thing the basketball is going to do is move 20 steps. Then I'm going to get it to turn a certain amount of degrees. So right now it's set to 15 degrees. So if we test it out, you can see it's...
Hello, welcome to my game around
you can see it's
I visited in Australia.
Moving.
I hope you like it. Bye. Click on the board to see where I went.
You can see it's moving 20 steps and turning a certain amount of degrees. So I'm going to change this 15 to 5, okay? And again, you can see it's still really quite slow. So I'm going to add on a control block, and I'm going to get the control block to loop or repeat these movements inside. So when I click on control, I'm going to use a forever. So I want it to forever be doing these things. So if we test it now,
Hello, welcome to my...
you can see the basketball is moving, which is good, but I have one problem. It's hiding behind the edge of the screen. So I'm going to add one more block on there. And the block that I'm going to add is just going to get it to bounce off. So if it does hit the side or the edge, it doesn't disappear like this one. It's just going to bounce off to somewhere else on the screen. So again, I'm going to use a motion block, and I'm going to find this if on edge bounce and put that inside. So let's test it out now.
Hello,
And you
welcome
can
to my
see
game
it's
around the places I visited.
bouncing around. Okay, so now I've got my scratch cat that introduces my game, and then I've got my basketball that's going to move around. But remember, I want the basketball to change the backdrop so that when I click on the basketball, it'll take me to my first location, Sydney Opera House. So I'm going to hit events, and I'm going to use the when this sprite is clicked, and then I'm going to go into looks and get it to switch backdrop to. And I'm going to pick the Sydney Opera House, and into basketball, I can change this to Sydney. Pause the video and see if you can do this